Hello, everybody. Welcome back to X-Ray, and this is my 10th episode. Today, we're going to talk about Eusebius. Who is Eusebius? Eusebius was the one of the most early church's Christian writer to attempt to record complete history of Christianity. He completed. He is the first one to write the Christianity books. Around AD 260, Eusebius was born in the area of Judea. It's in Jerusalem, Israel, maybe. Eusebius' parents were Christians, and Eusebius believed on Christ at an early age. During Eusebius' lifetime, Christians were persecuted, moved around during this persecution, and keep escape being martyred. And he was once put in prison in Egypt and was persecuted and at that time it is Eusebius' time Christian was really persecuted and racist because they don't like Christians because they think Christians are fake witnesses. And he was once put in the prison of Egypt and was and Eusebius was a student of the Bible and other of Christian writings. As he traveled through the Mediterranean Sea, he learned much about the history of Christianity. Christians in the city of Caesarea asked Eusebius to become the bishop or pastor in their church. During Eusebius' lifetime, Roman emperor named Constantine ended the persecution against Christians. Constantine, he was a emperor that at that time he ended the Christian persecution. So at that time, everybody was so happy. And then Eusebius authored many books during his lifetime. A number of these books were books of apologetics in which he defended the Christian faith. In some of these other books, Eusebius argues against false teaching. There is a lot of false teaching at that time as his time. The most famous of his book was his History of Christianity from the apostolic times until the 8300s. Eusebius is very detailed in his account concerning the history of spread and developed of Christian history. And he was a diligent man in studying, and he believed in God really much, and he trusted in God. He died on his bed at AD 1986. Okay, second, we'll talk about Athanasius. Athanasius was born in Alexandria, Egypt, about AD 296. He was educated in Egypt, where he learned worldly philosophies. Athanasius became a Christian, however, and began to study the scriptures for himself. Athanasius became a Christian, learned the scriptures so well he impressed the bishop of the church in Alexandria. The bishop made Athanasius his helper and gave him position in the church. When Constantine came to the throne as emperor of the Roman Empire in AD 312, all persecution of Christians ceased. During the time of false doctrine sprang up. There's a lot of false doctrine that time sprang up, and then caused divisions of the churches. And Alexandria was Alexander, the bishop of the church in Alexandria, was called to council, and Athanasius to the council with him. And Athanasius went to many of the council that time, and he became really famous. Before his death in AD 373, Athanasius spent much of his time in exile writing letters and books to help Christians. So I think Athanasius really have a really good character, and he's really good man. Thank you very much. I will see you next time.